Hello everyone. In today's video, I will be forecasting the potentially major upcoming severe weather outbreak that will be happening next week from Tuesday to Thursday. So make sure to watch the rest of the video to get the full forecast. Alrighty, everyone. So let's go ahead and get into this. As we can see right here, we have a 996 millipar low pressure system, which is right now the ongoing situation that we are seeing, which is actually currently ending because this is right now happening on the evening of April 7th, 2022. But as we go ahead and forward into time at around Monday here, we can see that there's this low pressure system right here, the 995 low pressure system right here, and then just take a look at what happens with that as we move into Tuesday. So as we can see, we have a very large system coming in from the Rockies with very widespread snow in the Rockies region there. And then as we move on into Wednesday, we start to really see our severe weather threat come the afternoon to evening hours of Wednesday, April 14th. And then come Thursday, we are seeing quite a lot of severe weather in the Dixie Alley region, the southeast, and quite a bit of severe weather in the Great Lakes there in Michigan and Wisconsin. So make sure to keep an eye on that when that comes through. And then Friday, we have some scattered storms that move into the New England region. So now let's go ahead and take a look at our temperature for the day. So let's go ahead and take a look at Tuesday, because this is really when the weather comes through. So as we can see here, we got some very cold air moving in from Canada or from the Northwest USA there. And then this line here is the cold front boundary, and that moves to the southeastern United States. Very cold temperatures in the Rockies there, all the way from Washington State to our Four Corners region, the Pacific Northwest to the Four Corners region, And then the cold front moves through, and this is Thursday here, so we're seeing some pretty warm temperatures. Let's actually go back a frame here. So pretty warm, actually very hot temperatures in Texas there. Wednesday afternoon to evening. Actually, I think this is just the afternoon hours. But in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, we are seeing temperatures above 80 degrees in these regions here. And then we got some pretty warm temperatures in Missouri, Illinois, and Iowa there too. So the Midwest region and Western Ohio Valley. And then Thursday comes through. Things start to cool down a bit for where our severe weather will be. Of course, we are still seeing some pretty warm temperatures in the Dixie Alley region, but not as warm in the Ohio Valley region that we saw in the Central Plains, especially the South Central Plains. And then the cold front comes through, bringing in very cold temperatures, especially for those in the upper Central Plains, such as the states of North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Wyoming, and Colorado, and Montana, which those are mountain states. But very major cold front that's going to be coming through. Let's go and take a look at our dew point temperatures. As we are seeing here, come Tuesday, we have all that moisture building up in from the Gulf of Mexico there, which that's going to trigger our severe weather on Wednesday, which we are actually seeing very, very good dew point temperatures, very good moisture in the Dixie Alley regions and the Midwest and Ohio Valley regions. All in these blues here is above 60 degrees, and then the purples is above 70 degrees. So that's actually really good for a severe weather event. Come Thursday, we're not seeing as much moisture due to the storms moving in and eating up that moisture. I mean, but we are still seeing pretty good moistures, above 60-degree dew point temperatures in those blues there, which is actually pretty good, especially up in for Michigan, which usually they aren't seeing this kind of stuff at this time of year. They're usually a bit colder. And then Friday shall be our last day with the scattered severe storms. We are still seeing some pretty good dew point temperatures down in the southeast region there in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and even for places all the way up to Virginia and Maryland, we're seeing above 60-degree dew point temperatures. So this will definitely be a very long-lasting system, according to our Euro model. So let's go ahead and take a look at the severe or the bulk shear here, because this is very important for our system. And as we can see, this is our current jet stream here. This is the cold front, and then this is going to be our big warm up, which is going to power our next storms here. And then we have the large dip in the jet stream there. Very windy conditions all along here, by the way. So anyone who lives all in this region, you are definitely going to be getting impacted, especially for those living in the states of New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Will definitely be seeing very windy conditions in this. And we are seeing very large, huge amounts of bulk shear in this. Bulk shear knots up to 80 knots, and even a little area there up to 92 knots right there. And this is in the late hours of Thursday. Now, as this does continue on, it starts to weaken as it tracks east into the Ohio Valley, and then when it moves into the Mid-Atlantic region, it gets even weaker. But we are still seeing bulk shear up to into the 60s, which is actually pretty decent. So this could definitely be a very major tornado outbreak for a whole lot of people. So that should be it for the Euro model. And let's go ahead and now take a look at the GFS model. So let's go ahead and start with the bulk shear, because that's what we got open. So actually, let's go ahead and start with the precipitation first, because that shows us everything. So here's our current storm right now. That moves off to the north. And here's our low pressure system right here, which is going to move northeast. And that is going to trigger some storms right in through here. Of course, the GFS model isn't the greatest when it comes to the precipitation, but we're still seeing a pretty large line from the Dixie Alley region all the way up into Ohio and Michigan, as we can see there, and a very large, very powerful low pressure system that we can see there. And it looks like that the GFS model is showing that the line dies off in the southeast come Friday, but the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast still have to keep an eye on the system as it does move through their region come Friday. Let's go ahead and now take a look at the dew point temperatures on the GFS model. So let's go and take a look at Tuesday. We got buildup of moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico and the line of storms. This is our dry line right here, by the way. And that's where our lines of storms are. So anything beyond here, beyond the blue, is where our lines of storms are. That's eating up the moisture. We are seeing above 70-degree dew point temperatures for southeast Texas and parts of Louisiana there, which is very impressive. And we're seeing above 60-degree dew point temperatures for places all the way up to Michigan in the Ohio Valley. So all the way up into the Great Lakes, this could be affecting. So this could definitely be a very major severe weather outbreak next week. Let's go ahead and now take a look at the temperature anomalies. So let's go ahead and see what we are seeing for the temperatures according to this model. So as I am seeing here, it is showing that the warmer temperatures are going to be to the east here. So places for, the western half of Texas, Oklahoma, lots of Kansas, and a whole lot of Nebraska there too. We'll be seeing above 80-degree temperatures, which is pretty warm. But then as the system does move through, not seeing as warm temperatures as the Euro model was saying, but that's still pretty warm. We're seeing above 70-degree not dew point temperatures for a lot of the Ohio Valley and the Dixie Alley region. That moves through, and then we are seeing a pretty good southeast ridge coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, pushing moisture all the way up through to the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. So the Northeast is going to be seeing some pretty warm conditions into the 70s, which that's good for you guys. That you guys are going to be seeing some nice warm conditions, but at the same token, we need to be aware of these storms that will be coming through. Let's go ahead and now take a look at what we got on the bulk shear now. And as we are seeing, we are actually seeing pretty good shear to this. Just as much as what we saw on the Euro model about. So we're seeing about 80 knots, but this is when the storms first form up. But as we go into the late hours of Wednesday, we will be seeing winds, bulk shear up to 89 knots at most in Iowa, but an average of 80 knots for a lot of people in this region. That moves east, and it looks like that Thursday potentially might be our worst day because we are seeing more shear in that area. So potentially shear up to 100 miles an hour almost in for Kentucky. So this will definitely be a major threat to the Dixie Alley regions. And then for the mid-Atlantic and Northeast, we are seeing about 60 knots for the mid-Atlantic for Virginia, D.C., and Maryland. And then for the Northeast there, we are seeing about knots potentially in the 90s once again there. But at that point, the system does weaken. Let's go ahead and now take a look at our surface-based CAPE, which this is thunderstorm energy, just as a base example for what CAPE is. So we're seeing quite a bit of that. We're actually seeing very good amounts of that in Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas especially. So really anything above 2,000 joules per kilogram, which that's what the JKG means. It means joules per kilogram. You will definitely be seeing some very major severe weather within those regions. But then, of course, the storms do eat up a lot of the energy, and then they weaken out as the energy is gone. But then a lot of the energy does come back up for the mid-Atlantic region and the Northeast. So the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast regions will definitely need to be keeping an eye on this. So anyways, let's go ahead and now take a look at the Supercell Composite. And then after that, we will take a look at the Energy Helicity Index. So Supercell Composite, we're actually seeing pretty good amounts of that. So anything really above 10 means that there's going to be a pretty good amount of supercells in the area. And honestly, it could really also be, really in the gray regions too, that we could be seeing some pretty good supercellular activity. So anything really above 5 here, we could be seeing some pretty decent amounts of supercellular activity in these regions. We see quite a bit of that in Arkansas. So it looks like Arkansas is one of our big areas of focus, especially for the afternoon hours of Wednesday coming into the evening. So let's go ahead and now take a look at our Energy Helicity Index. And so we are actually seeing a lot of that. That's for sure. A lot of that in the Central Plains there. And then, of course, we see a lot of that for Arkansas. And again, Arkansas might be our biggest area of interest for this severe weather outbreak for sure. And so, again, this is telling us how the supercellular activity will play out, along with the supercell composite. And we're seeing a decent amount of that in the mid-Atlantic region for sure, and some of that in the Northeast region. All right, anyways, that right there wraps up the video. If you guys have not, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon after you do hit the subscribe button. And make sure to hit that like button too. I would really appreciate you guys doing all of that. If you guys have not, please make sure to check our description and join our Discord server. And please be sure to also follow my Twitter. The link for that will be in the description as well. But anyways, that wraps up today's video, and I will see you guys next time.